And welcome back. It's another Blue Glove edition of Boomer Baseball. Today I have a very grubby, stained box of Leaf. I bought this on Whatnot at an auction, and it looks okay. Looks like maybe somebody might have accidentally spilled their coffee on it at some point. Everything's intact. It just has like a little bit of discoloration here and some sort of sludge or something here. Again, this is why we wear the gloves. Not only to keep things mint, but to keep ourselves mint and preserve our dignity against such unknown liquids and materials. So let's check it out, shall we? Now, Leaf isn't very exciting in 1991. 1990 Leaf was very exciting. The first year of Leaf in 1990 was amazing. I mean, the energy that product had, people were freaking out about it. It was like 1989 Upper Deck or the premiere edition of Top Stadium Club. People just, it was so good. But by 1991, the bloom was off the rose when it came to Leaf. I mean, people liked this set, but it just seemed like there was so much of it out there that, you know, the old adage, familiarity breeds contempt, right? So the more of something there is, the less it's worth, supply and demand and whatnot. And just the perceived rarity and lack thereof, you know, this stuff just didn't have the same kind of feel, you know. It does have gold cards in it, though. So they do have parallels or random, they're not parallels, it's a subset. So we're going to look for those today. If we're lucky, we'll get a Bagwell. If we're really lucky, we'll get the Nolan Ryan and the Ricky Henderson milestone cards, which are really cool. All very condition sensitive stuff. All those, all the inserts from this set are really condition sensitive. Have low pop counts as far as like PSA 10s and stuff. Maybe get a Mike Mussina. I don't know if that's in the second series. Oh, yeah, I should have said that. This is series 2. So we shall see. And this design is, it's just a funny design. It looks like those, if you've ever seen a scrapbook or like photo book, and they have those little self-adhesive little decorative edges or corners that you can put the photographs in. I guess that's what they were going for here. But let's check it out. Let's see what we can get. Steve Avery. Is this the error Uribe? I think he's born in 1960. Yeah, this is the corrected one. Or this is the error one. So see, Uribe, the error is that he was born in 59. And this is the error that says he's born in 60. So that's interesting. There's a Nolan Ryan. Good shape card. Tim Raines has an error as well, but I don't know if it's corrected or not. Pretty cool. And then we get the Harmon Killebrew puzzle that's in foil. So that'll be tacky and fun to put together. It'll go right next to my Willie Stargell one on my wall. Right next to my Warren Spahn and my Lou Gehrig and my Babe Ruth one. I haven't put them on my wall. Oop. We got a gold rookie. And you can see, look at that corner. Now, I've opened up some of this product before, and what I've noticed is these gold Leaf rookies, when you get down here to the edge, it's not necessarily that the edge is been like blunted or damaged, but sometimes when they cut it, it seems like it rounds the corner. Like it's perfectly preserved, except for it's rounded. So maybe I should show that on a video. It's kind of hard to explain, but I think that's why those are so darn hard to get high grades on. I'm pretty sure that's a contributing factor. Other Palmero, I think that's kind of the biggest reason. Kevin Moss, who was a big deal in his rookie year. Let's see. Yeah, pretty fun stuff. So we just had the World Series last night, and our Dodgers won, which was fantastic and completely stressful. That was a stressful game. It was a great series, but boy, was it stressful. And last night was some of the most intense baseball I've ever witnessed. I mean, the times and the opportunities that Toronto had to just lock it down is just amazing. I don't think these Uribe errors are worth anything. I don't think anybody cares about those kind of errors. Golly, those plays were just insane. Just insane. All the defensive plays, holy cow. Let's see. And the big brain play when the ball got stuck in the boards. You know, like if he would have just reached down to touch that ball, Paul Molitor, if he would have reached down to touch that ball, that would have been it. Joe Carter, speak of the Toronto Blue Jays. If he would have touched that ball, it would have been a live ball, and those bases would have just emptied. The Dodgers would have been up a creek. Up a creek, and not a good creek either. Let's see. So, I mean, that was pretty... You could see Kike, he threw his hands up and said, like, you know, this is a dead ball. And then the outfielder, he put his hands up and indicated the dead ball, and then the refs caught on and they agreed. There's a nice Cal Ripken. Nice Don Mattingly. That's cool. The Wild Thing, Mitch Williams. So what a crazy series, man. Just a crazy, crazy series. Back and forth. When the Dodgers got stomped, you know, a couple of those games early on, I thought, oh man, doesn't look good. But you know what? The relief pitching that was suspect all through the regular season and the postseason, they did their job as much as they could. Came through. There's Mark McGuire. Edgar Martinez. Old Father Time, Charlie HOF. And Sandy Alomar checklist. Deion Sanders, pretty cool. Yeah, what a great series, man. What a great series. Whew. Crazy, I'm getting anxiety just remembering it. Carlton Fisk, oh, that's cool. Strawberry, nice. It's Heath Slocum? I thought it was Heathcliff. Ooh, there. Look at this. This is loaded with goodies. Frank Thomas. Don't mind if I do. El Presidente Martinez. Roberto Alomar. Randy Johnson. Give me a break. This stuff is loaded, man. I mean, I don't know what else you'd want in a Series 2 product. There's supposed to be there's a King Griffey in here, too, somewhere. So hopefully... Oh, look at that. Frank Thomas. Oh my God, look at that. How cool. Jeff Bagwell and Frank Thomas. What a hit. And yeah, see that corner just got a little bit of like a little bevel to it. I don't know if you can see it. Let me see if I can get the light to play on it. See that bottom corner there? It's got like a little bit of a lift to it. Looks like a little ski slope jump. That beveling is, I think it's when they produce these things, man. I think whatever dye or whatever's cutting them, it drags on this material and just it feathers the corners. Sometimes it creates separation of the you can see the paper separating the different materials kind of becoming delaminated or whatever. Fisk again. Fernandez again. And another kick-ass, another kick-butt Frank Thomas. How fun. That is some good stuff. Yeah, I would probably like to open some more 1990 Leaf. I opened some pre-pandemic when I first got back into collecting baseball cards, and it was awesome. It was awesome. I still have all those cards raw. I was going to send some for grading, but as I've gotten better at looking at cards, I've noticed they're not that perfect, and I don't think they're going to be like a Gem Mint 10, so there's no point. I don't want a 9. It's not worth it. The King Griffey Jr., Bobby Bonilla. You gotta be real. Gotta be real specific about the cards you submit these days with the prices and everything, and whether it's worth your time. Because PSA 9s they're dead. There's so much stuff out there, unless it's like a real rare, like insert or chase card or something, or low pop. But if it's just a standard kind of hit card, like a 1990s Thomas, 1990 Leaf Frank Thomas, or a 1990 King Griffey Leaf, or the Sosa, like I don't think anybody cares about Sosa right now. I mean, it's still worth something if it's a Gem Mint 10, but I don't think it, unless you know it's just perfect, I wouldn't bother. Eddie Zosky, pretty cool. Put him with Dresseldorfer. Barry Bonds checklist, Randy Johnson. Tim doing the truffle shuffle tuffle. Let's see, Jack Morris. Mike Pagliarulo, what a nice name. Dave Parker. Chuck Knobloch, it's like his second year. That's his rookie too, I think. I thought Chuck Knobloch did pretty good. He was pretty relevant back in those days. Back in my time, Chuck Knobloch was considered a skilled player. All right, let's see. Another Uribe error card that no one cares about. Wow, cool. Another nice Nolan Ryan. Another Tim Raines. Pretty cool. I think we pretty much hit everybody good. I mean, we even got a Bagwell. That's pretty rad. I think there's a Mike Mussina error card when it comes to the rookies, the gold leaf rookies. Oh, check it out, man. Ricky Henderson gold leaf. That looks pretty clean. Again, that corner is still lifted. Here, look again. So this is the record breaking for steals, right? Record breaker commemorative. Again, that corner just like lifted. And this one just a little bit rounded. Yeah, these are real sensitive cards. Here, let's keep it out. Let's not scratch it. Let's put, Nolan can go in the stack. He'll be all right. He's a tough guy. He could take a punch and give one too. But we'll put Bagwell. There we go. Yeah, we can kind of see that, can't we? Just shift over here. Let's shift a little bit. Put Bags there. Put Ricky there. Ricky likes that. And then we'll put the common players back over on this side. Just bounce it out a little bit. Make room for future gold leaf rookies. All right, let's check it out. Lance Parrish, he had a good career too, man. He had good numbers. Good numbers. All right, let's see. All right. The Hideous Antics of Zane Smith. Shout out to The Past is Alive. Really fun channel. You guys gotta check it out. Cool dude. Dave Winfield. Yeah, really cool. I'm just gonna start throwing them up there. It's easier. Oh, there we go. Let's see who's on this checklist. Sandy Alomar again. Deion Sanders again. Scott Erickson. He was relevant back then. Let's see. Now I'm just putting stuff everywhere. There we go. Okay. Try to keep it consistent. Dwight Evans had a great career too. There's Fiske again. Straw again. I think everything's going to be again. Our third Frank Thomas. Now, if this was a box of 1990 and you got 3 Frank Thomas rookie cards, that'd be pretty insane. I don't remember pulling more than one of... I think I got 2 King Griffeys, but I don't think I got more than one Sosa or more than one Frank in the box, but I don't know. I have to go check. Another Nolan Ryan. Vince, the Firecracker Coleman. Everyone's favorite pyrotechnic artist who likes to blow up kids. Dale Murphy. Yeah, we should never let Vince Coleman forget that he was moronic and threw firecrackers at children. Never let him play it down. What a hideous idea. All right, let's see. Whoa. I think Darren Jackson missed that ball. Look at that. That looks like an error. I think there's a Brooks Robinson card. Is it Brooks Robinson? Or is it Harmon Killebrew? There's an old card where it looks like he's totally missing a grounder. And I thought, well, why would you do that to the guy? Why you do him dirty and show him making an error? Van Slyke, Gary Gaetti, Alex Martinez again, Palmeiro. Yeah, some of these baseball card decisions. There's like the 1970. It's a black border. Is it 70? Tops, Ernie Banks, where it looks like he's having an argument with somebody. He's just like in the middle of talking or saying something. And he looks all deformed and weird. Usually Ernie Banks has a nice like smile going. He looks, composed and content. There's Darryl Strawberry, checklist. But on that issue, he just looks like a lunatic. He just looks like he's having some sort of meltdown. Maybe he was. Maybe that's why the guy put it on there. Well, there's another one. There's a Brooks Robinson. It's got a very similar vibe, and it's earlier though. That's what year is that? Brooks Robinson. I can see it in my mind's eye. I just can't recall what year that is. It's I think it's the late 50s, early 60s. Brooks Robinson, if I'm remembering correctly. And Brooks has got his mouth open and he just looks like a goofball. That's a cool card. Wade Taylor. I keep seeing Wade Taylor in these early 90s sets, and I just wonder. I don't think he did very much. I think I've Wikipedia'd old Wade Taylor. I don't think he was in the league that long. Harold Reynolds. I like his commentary on baseball. Tony Gwynn. Wow, everybody's in the second series, eh? Who's in the first series? If this is the second series, who the heck is in the first series? It seems like we're getting all the goodies. We haven't got a Jose Canseco, so maybe they saved him for the first series. But I'm pretty sure even King Griffey Jr.'s in this series. I remember getting this one as a kid, thinking, oh man, hopefully this guy pans out, but I don't think he did. Let's see. Gwynn again. A nice, heavily off-centered Eckersley. Sam Horn. All right. Fun stuff. I'd rather open up old junk wax any day compared to some of this modern product. Like, I see the prices. I was just at Burbank Sports Cards yesterday, looking around, and they didn't really have any good junk wax to buy. They need to go into their warehouse and pull out some more, but I was just looking at the modern product and how expensive it is, and it's like, boy, that doesn't sound like fun. There's like three cards per pack, and there's only like 10 packs per box or some crap. It's like $150 a box. It's like, what the heck? That doesn't sound like fun. That sounds like risky behavior, man. This was like $15. And I bought a bunch of other boxes from the same seller on WhatsApp. Whatnot? I think it's Whatnot, right? Yeah, it's always confusing. But the shipping was all included after like the third box. I bought multiple boxes from the same guy, so he was able to ship them together and save me some dough, which is always nice, especially on like heavy stuff like boxes. But yeah, there's Sosa. God, everybody's in this set. Usually when you do like a first and a second series, there's Alan Trammell. Gosh dang. We haven't seen Yount. I haven't seen Robin Yount. I haven't seen like Kirk Gibson. I haven't seen Jose Canseco. Who else haven't we seen? I don't know. It seems like we've seen everybody else though. Usually when it has a first and a second series, you're going to really notice the limitation of the set. As far as like Hall of Famers, you're going to be missing out on a bunch of different guys, But so far, this seems like it's loaded. Seems pretty reasonable. Another Griffey. Cool. Another Bonilla. Why not? Yeah. Pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. There's 500 and something cards in the set, and the second series starts at like card 256 or something like that. So there's 250 something cards ahead of this. I don't know what's in it, but maybe I should get the first series next time. That'd be fun. Double Deion Sanders. How about that? Like double Quirk, double Deion Sanders. Wow, pretty cool. I don't remember this set having much value as a kid either. Like 1990 was, you know, that stuff was real pricey. I remember it got crazy. I remember one time, hey, look, it's Tat Paddler. Shout out to past his life. I remember as a kid getting the Beckett. Ooh, Clemens, see, look at that. Even a Clemens. So we haven't seen Wade Boggs, so maybe Boggs is in the first series. But I remember getting the Beckett price guide, and it was like maybe 6, 7, 8 months, something like that, after the 1990 Leaf set had come out. And all of a sudden, every freaking card had an arrow going up. And it was ridiculous. Cards that were like $5 went to 10. You know, it was just nutty. Like the Nolan Ryan was like $20 or $15. It was bananas. So I remember going and getting my bulk box out, where I had all my kind of like, you know, lesser desirable type cards, and I went through there, and there was, you know, tons of value now. So I remember taking those to the card shop and doing a little exchange, trading them those for some sealed stuff, some packs of some other stuff. That was nice. So it was like a weird bubble. Oh, here we go. Check it out. We got the 300 win. Oh, the no-hitter. Yeah, look at that. Beautiful card, but it's pre-flawed. Look at that. I'm off camera. Sorry about that. There's like a vertical line right there through the foiling. So that, you know, just that alone is just a bummer for grading or whatever. But corners are really nice. Slight slope on this bottom corner. Oh, yeah, it is. There's a little bit of a bump there. Let's see if I can see it on the camera. A little bit of a bump. Yeah, bummer. Cool card though. These Leaf rookies and gold commemorative things they're fun. You know, I don't think they have much value unless they're gem mint 10 or whatever, but they're a cool looking card. Jack Morris. Oh, Wade Boggs, dude. Who is in the first set? Just Robin Yount. Fisk. Straw. That's weird. Now I'm super curious on who's in the first series. Besides Jose Canseco now. And Robin Yount. What the heck? Oh. That one was locked up. Had extra adhesive on it. They sealed it really good. So let's see. Oh, same pack basically. There's Boggs again. Wow. Pretty wild. All right, getting down to it. 5 packs left, looks like. Yeah. 5 more packs. It's been fun. We got all the goodies though. I want these for my personal collection. If you've never heard me say this 100 times, or first time watching me open cards and shoot the breeze, basically just reestablishing my old personal collection from when I was a kid, kind of revisiting all that junk wax era stuff. But since I'm an older, I have financial resources to dispose of. I've taken my collection all the way back to the 60s as far as like binder stuff, just loose stuff. So I put together all the 80s and 90s stuff, and now I'm going back to the 70s and the 60s, which is cool. And it's all raw stuff. I mean, I do have a graded card collection, but graded cards are kind of boring. They just sit in a little box in a vault, and they don't get looked at, exposed to sunlight. They're just too expensive to play with. So to reattach or to reconnect with the hobby, to conjoin myself mentally and emotionally to the game and the hobby of collecting cards, I started like a binder collection. Also because I hate free space, and I love buying supplies that are expensive. So it's not something I recommend, and it's a big money pit. But at the end of the day, it looks pretty darn cool. I'll have to share some of my binders one of these days. Take you on a horrible trip across time and space into my binder collection. There we go. Like Jeff Coat. Gwen again. Mickey Sasser. Mackie Sasser. Why did I think it was Mickey Sasser? That's one of those Mandela effects, right? Mickey, Mackie. There we go. Another puzzle piece for the collection. All right, let's see. Getting down to the itty gritty. Ken Griffey Sr. That's cool. Yeah, I'll pull the Griffey Sr. out just to put in the binder. That's cool. That's a really cool thing, father and son, when they hit the back-to-back home runs. If you've never seen it, if you're not familiar with it, Ken Griffey Jr., Ken Griffey Sr. played on the Mariners for a few years before Griffey Sr. retired. And in one game, they hit back-to-back dingers, which is cool. All right, Pete Sherrick. That's pretty cool. Nice. All right. See, wow, who is in the first series? There's McGriff and Brett. Wow, what the heck? This can't be like a mixed bag, right? Like, I don't think they mixed the two sets. Schilling, I'll keep that. There's Kruk, old Johnny Kruk. All right, here we go. John Kruk always reminds me of, what's his name? That golfer, the big guy. What's his name? Shoot, I can't remember his name. But I think if you knew, you'd probably know what I'm talking about. I can't remember that guy. And Dawson. What the heck? We finally get a Dawson after all these years? Card 400. Gary Carter? Seriously, who is in the first series? I mean, can you think of anybody we haven't seen besides Canseco and Robin Yount? I mean, honestly, I am not sure. Look at that. Jeff Bagwell, gold leaf rookie. How fun. It's a good looking card. It's covered in card dandruff. So we'll have to delouse it and get rid of all these little specks before we enter it into the binder of collectability. It's a cool card. Actually, this might go into my one-touch collection. So I also have a one-touch collection of raw rookies. Just because, again, I love buying supplies. Not true. And I have infinite space to store everything. And I don't mind boxes weighing like, 1,200 pounds, which is also a lie. But there it is, Jeff Bagwell. And then we got the Ricky Henderson. Golden Moments, that's what they called it, okay. Old-time stolen base king, and then celebrating his 7th no-hitter, the Ryan Express. Golden Moment. Pretty cool. Well, thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you next time.